Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. I'm a licensed cognitive behavior therapist and a licensed mental health counselor. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, and my opinions. Today I want to go back to the crime scene. I just want to show y'all what one of my subscribers pointed out to me and what I managed to find while I was analyzing what my subscriber pointed out to me. She knows who she is. Love my subscribers. They are always so observant. They're very respectful, very kind, professional people. We never swear in this channel. And we show the highest respect for the victims and their families. But obviously there will be some speculations, especially when the case has been on a gag order for 2 years and 7 months. We were left with nothing but to speculate. We were just trying to connect the pieces, the connections, and even the timeline. Let's visit Dylan Mortison's room. A very interesting room. So my subscriber told me to look at DM's night table, that there's a ski mask there. Yes, it's a ski mask. And before anyone starts discussing or attacking me about this, I am not sure what I'm seeing yet. That is the reason I share my theories and my analyzations with my subscribers, and we discuss and find out what is possible or what is not. We are speculating, nothing more. I personally believe that it is a ski mask. I've sent it to a couple of people. Shout out to my friend, Realize Analyze. She has a good eye in catching such things. And she believes that it is a fan, which I can agree, because you can see the code. You can see the wire hanging off the... So I believe personally that this is a fan, but what DM has done is this is clearly a baklava, a ski mask, because it has 2 holes around the eyes. She must have taken the ski mask and put it on top of the fan, like a dress. When you wear a dress, if it makes sense, y'all. She put it on top of the fan. She has alcohol beverage. Obviously, she said she was intoxicated, she was hallucinating, and I'm sure these college students were high as a kite. What do y'all think this is, my subscribers, viewers? We can be mindful, respectful, and put our comments down. I'm not saying it's a ski mask. I'm saying I personally believe it is. So this is one. Now, do you all remember in the beginning of this case, we were told by Chief Fry and Captain Lanier that the students, the victims, were not gagged. They were not tied up. I never believed them. because the picture Saeed was watching, it looked like Kale was gagged up, and it looked like I could see Percy people gagged up. Okay, let's see this. And why would such rumors be coming from the college students that the victims were gagged up? Let me start by a big trigger warning. What is interesting that I haven't seen any YouTube creator mentioning this yet. Look at the bed and look at where this scream mask is. Look at the white rope. There's a rope tied on the bed. I want to know if the victims were gagged on DM's bed. Why would any normal, I hate to use the word normal and abnormal, but why would any normal human being in their sane mind have a rope tied on their bed? Pay attention to where the rope goes. It goes from the black board on the bed, goes on the bed itself, then it hangs down. It's a couple of ropes, and then it goes down to the floor. That's one. Then pay attention. Y'all know me. I have to observe every little detail. Look at this cupboard. There's a rope hanging out from the cupboard unless it is a USB charger. That could be a USB charger. But this rope is not supposed to be there. So this is the third thing that has caught my attention and my subscribers' attention. You have a ski mask on the table, on top of the fan. Basically, they covered the fan with the ski mask. It has 2 holes for the eyes. And if I zoom in, you can see it has breathing places on top of the eyebrow and such things. DM, I have a question for you. You said you weren't sure what you were seeing that night. You weren't sure if you were hallucinating. Could it be possible that you were seeing all these concerning masks and you were assuming that it was somebody in your room or somebody outside your room? Or was it more than that? Is this all staged, DM? Question mark. Okay, people can say, it was Halloween 2 weeks before that. But why would you have a rope hanging on your bed? Halloween wouldn't explain a rope hanging on your bed. Shout out to Scott Perkins, one of my subscribers, very intelligent man. Thank you very much for the comment you left me yesterday. Scott said, Huda, please show us everything you find to be odd and let us, the subscribers, investigate and come with our opinions. I respect that. Shout out to you. That is the way it's supposed to be. My subscribers are my team. They're my family. They have been part of me for the last 3 years. And actually more than 3 years. In Summerwell's case, Nicola Bully's case, and Jay Slater's case too. So my subscribers, leave it in the comment. Do you agree with Scott Perkins? Should I continue exposing what I see and y'all can be the judge of it, because I'm not putting out conspiracies. There's a difference about making up a narrative, and there's a big difference of pointing out what you see. Why do we have a scary mask and a ski mask? Baklava's on DM is table, night table, and the bed. What gives me the creeps is the scary mask that is near the wall reminds me of the things Brent Kopaka had in his house, if you'll remember. Now, the next thing I'm going to show y'all is just my speculations. I'm not saying this is fact at all. This is what I see. So I want my subscribers and viewers to let me know what y'all see. I know it's difficult to see from here because we are not at the crime scene, but we have eyes. Is this what I think it is? On DM is duvet. Is this red stains? Red liquid stains? Now look at the bed. That looks like something red or brown has leaked into the bed. I don't know what this black thing is on the bed, but do y'all see that this is, oh my God, it's more than we think. So we see the scary movie mask, or is that a witch or whatever, hanging next to the rope on the bed. Now I wanted to show you all this. Trigger warning. I'm not sure what I'm saying. That's the reason I'm asking my subscribers. Like Scott said, let us be the judge of what we are seeing. Let us investigate with you. Do y'all see what I see? What is this red stains on the bed? What is this red stains or brown stains? For me, it looks like dry red liquid. But I'm not going to speculate that it came from the unalivings, because I'm a very respectful and mindful person, so I don't want to even say what I'm going to say. But we females go through life circle. So monthly, we go through what women go through. So could it be that? But why didn't she wash her sheet or put it in the machine? Who would leave a sheet like that? Is my question. The second thing is, look at this. This can't be dirt. I won't speculate much on this because I don't know what I'm seeing. I have no experience, zero experience in forensic. I'm a mental health counselor. I deal more with the brains and therapy. Nothing to do with forensic, but that doesn't mean that I didn't go to university and learn science. It doesn't mean I haven't seen red liquid before. What are we looking at? And the reason it interests me so much is the reason I said that could it be red liquid is because after seeing this mask and this rope, and if the students, the victims, were gagged on the bed, they could have had red liquid on the bed. Anything's possible. I wonder if the students were gagged. I always believed that they were gagged. I've mentioned that so many times in my clips. Were the students gagged? Because the pictures Saeed was watching looked like people were gagged. And when you think about it, how can you get 4 people in one house in 2 different floors to be quiet unless you have a GUN? I guess you have to outnumber them and you have to gag them. You have to gag them up. And I believe they were gagged up because I hate to say this, guys. These 4 victims were tortured. Ethan's legs were carved. I didn't say that. Dateline said that. That is the reason they gave Koberger a plea deal. Not because of all the threats only he was getting. They knew if this went to trial, they would have had 0 chances to win the 12 jury vote. Very questionable things at the crime scene. I showed you a red liquid on the steps. Let's not forget, Ethan, his legs were carved. There should have been more red liquid on the scene. Or maybe there wasn't that much red liquid on the scene, because if you look at the body cam of the white car coming in, I showed you all at 1119 King Road, the guy was sitting and taking pictures of something that looked like people on the floor. We've always had their theories and heard it. Shout out to Kara Willis, excellent YouTube creator. Kara was the one. It was her theory. We give credit where credit is due. Kara always said that the victims were unalived outside, either all 4 of them or some of them. And after what I saw the guy taking pictures of, and at least 90% of my subscribers and viewers agreed that they could see the same. So if that is the case, then these poor 4 victims were not unalived at home. Maybe 2. Maybe Maddie and Kaylee were unalived at home. But I believe Ethan and Zana, it's so nice to see that the theory I first put out is actually heading into that direction. I've always said 2 a.m. is the hardest time for Stacey Chapin and her family, because 2 a.m. is when Ethan and Zana were unalived. This was way before the Linda Lane clip came out even. And everyone used to ask me, why are you choosing that timeline? Because let's not forget what the coroner said. They edited that part out of the interview and I still have it in my channel. Somewhere in my channel. What did she say? When the reporter asked her, the reporter said, when did it happen? When did you think the time of unaliving has happened? She said, somewhere after 2 a.m. I do my active listening. So 2 a.m., Zana and Ethan were attacked outside, in my opinion. Hunter Chapin, said that Ethan and Zana left his flat at 1:45. I don't believe that, but let's go with that theory. That means if they left Sigma Chi at 1:45, at 1:56, Kaylee and Maddie came home. Somebody attacked all 4 of them outside, in my opinion. Or maybe brought Kaylee and Maddie inside, because Maddie's coat is behind Taylor Avenue. Another thing I exposed. And another thing that I'm glad that I found out early on in this case is when the crowd was yelling, Zana, Zana, Ethan. So take all those things and put it together. It all comes down to 2 a.m. or 5 past 2 with Ethan and Zana. The reason I say Kaylee and Maddie were unalived later is at 2:26 they start calling Jack D. Right up to 2:52. At 2:53, Maddie Morgan calls Bethany Funk and Bethany Funk doesn't answer. There's no communication between Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen from 2:53 right up to 3:51. 3:33 is when DM is uploading pictures on a Visco. At 2:55, you hear a female yelling, "Stop it, stop." I believe that is when Maddie and Kaylee were unfortunately attacked. And then the 4chan said the 19-minute theory. And that was something I spoke about from the very beginning of this case. The 19-minute theory is when the figures are running at 3:12. Go back 19 minutes, and we're looking at 2:52, 2:53. That is when the girls were unalived. So I believe, and I stick to the timeline, that I per se believe all my research led me to. Let me know, guys, what y'all think. I find it very strange that DM is sheets and duvet have red or brown stains on it. I find it even more stranger that the ropes are tied on the bed. Were the students, victims gagged? Lord knows. But this needs to be answered. Look at how long the rope is. Look at how long that rope is. So DM, is this the baklava you were wearing that night? Was it tested?